Hello designers, this is Angie from Raveners Design Academy. Welcome back if you're subscribed and welcome here if you're new. Today we're going to talk about something that not everyone wants or asks for, but you never know when you may need it. Creating a studio background with studio lighting is really handy if you want to show off a product. Whether you do jewelry design, woodworking, furniture design, or just want to render a cool model of a futuristic car just for fun, this is for you. What's really cool about creating something like this is that you can save the file with all its settings somewhere on your computer. And whenever you need to render something in a studio setup, you just open the file, paste the object you want to render, and let VRay do its thing. I personally use several setups similar to this for rendering custom pieces of decor and furniture for clients. Tweaking it and playing around with colors and lights won't take much time either, especially if you have VRay 5. If you would like to see more videos focused on furniture modeling and rendering, leave a comment below. Also, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. So, let's get started, shall we? This is a seamless background studio setup that I got off of 3D Warehouse by user Lee Kyo Moss. Hope I said the name right. I really like the curved shape of it, and it makes for a really nice and seamless white or black background, or any background really. I'll just move it closer to origin point because I'm a little OCD and delete all the extra elements added by the original creator. Now I'm left with only the background object. So while I'm at it, I really recommend using the Cleanup 3 plugin to clean any models you get off of 3D Warehouse to avoid any crashes, glitches, or making the file basically unopenable. After saving the cleaned up version of this file, I'll start prepping the file by launching VRay's asset editor and loading in my default render settings, which I basically use for every interior render. Afterwards, I'll change the units of this file to millimeters because that's what I prefer to work with. Last step is to rescale the whole object to half the size because I'll only be adding small objects to it like furniture and decor accessories. Setting up a file to suit your needs will save you a lot of time in the future when you want to do a quick render of an object, so always do that. Next step is to set a camera angle. Using the look around tool, I'll find the midpoint of this object and set my camera there facing in. I'll just click and drag along the red axis to make sure that my camera is facing straight forward. Now that my camera is in place, I'll input the height of 600mm to start. I can change that height depending on what kind of object I add in later. To save the position of this camera, I'll just head to View, Animation, Add Scene. Yay! Now we have our camera in place. So if you're planning on adding more than one camera, rename them in the Scenes window to avoid getting confused. Another tip, if you're adding more than one camera or scene, is to disable scene transitions by navigating to View, Animation, Settings, and in the Settings window, uncheck the transition box and setting the delay to 0. Model and camera are now configured to add in the lights. So let's import an object in here to test the lights on. This is a wing-backed slipper chair that I created last year for a patron gift scene. Choosing the right angle for your object is important. Rotate your camera around and see what would be the best look for the objects you want to render. You can also adjust the field of view if your object looks warped by the angle you chose. All detailed relevant tutorials will be linked in the description box below this video. The original angle is fine for now, so I'll just stick to it. Let's move on to setting up our lights. Using the line tool, I'll find the midpoint in the background object and draw a line along the blue axis at the height of 1650 millimeters, which is basically a person's average height. This will be the anchor point for the OmniLight widget that I'll use as my camera flash. After deleting the line I used as a guide, I'll click the Scene tab and launch VRay's interactive render to test it out. Whoa, too bright. Adding a light in the center has only one job. It needs to illuminate the object from above the camera, not burn my eyes. There, that's better. You can see that the object is visible, but this is not the result I'm looking for. So while the interactive render is going, I'll adjust the background color and make sure that it's white with no reflections at all. And then head over to the lighting tab to rename and then adjust the OmniLight's parameter values. Center light has to be sharp and vivid to mimic a camera flash, but it also has to be white. Next, we need to set up two soft lights on either sides of the OmniLight, basically two soft boxes on either side of the camera. So using the line tool again, I'll draw two guides on both sides of the OmniLight widget along the green axis this time and set the value to 1500 millimeters each. At the end of both lines, I'll add in spotlight widgets while clicking Shift to control their directions. All you have to do is press Shift on your keyboard while placing the widgets, and then let go of the Shift button and move your mouse around to point each light at the object. After choosing your direction, it will then ask you to set the cone and penumbra angle. Click anywhere with your mouse twice because we will be adjusting those via the parameter settings in VRay's asset editor. Once you're done, delete the guidelines and launch the asset editor, rename your lights, and let's launch interactive render to see the adjustments we make in real time. After changing the unit to watts, I'll change the intensity to 20. I'll keep the cone angle at 66, but change the penumbra angle to half that value. Penumbra fall-off will be smooth cubic, the decay as inverse square. Last, to soften the light a bit, I'll set the shadow radius to 5. I'll match the same settings to the other light since it's a separate widget. And I know I could have just copied the same widget from one side to the other, but I need them to be two different lights because I want to be able to dim one and not the other, or change their color values separately if I choose to. Now the object looks well lit, but there is something off about the background. See that gray area over there? You'll be able to see what I mean more clearly once I do a test render. See that? There's a shadow in the back. That's happening because we don't have an overhead light to illuminate the background itself, and the back and top of the object as well. So to fix that, all we need is a simple rectangle light, approximately the same width as the background, and placed at the very top in the back away from the object and the camera. I'll also center it so I don't get any weird corner shadows because I'm not looking for that. But if that's your thing, make sure that the rectangle light is a little bit narrower than the background and test out the shadows. Maybe you like them. As you can see, it's not directly above my object, but it will do the job. In the asset editor, I'll rename the light and then just adjust the intensity value to 10. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's test this bad boy and see what's going on. Yep, no more shadows, but there are a lot of color burns happening. To fix that, let's disable force color clamping and see how bad it is. Yeah, it's bad. Click the color corrections button and enable exposure. Expand the tab and slide the highlight burn value down till all the burns are gone. This will desaturate your object, so we'll adjust the contrast slider and bring it back to life. Next, we'll head over to the white balance tab and enable it. Then move the slider around, either cooler or warmer, till you're satisfied with the result. There, much better. Now let's do a test render and see what we have so far. Yes, we got some perfect lighting with some very white background action going on. And the chair is looking really good. The coolest thing about a setup like this is that you can change the color of the lights and the background to produce amazing effects, or just use the classic white background or the classic black background. And if you're using VRay 5, this would be even way cooler because you can create colorful lights focusing on the same object. Basically kind of like the thumbnail I used for this video. That's it for today's video, so if you have any requests or suggestions, you can of course drop them in the comments below and I will reply back. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, guys. Stay safe and always remember to let your creativity shine through. Till next time.